The crypto bull run is back, baby, and I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of my top altcoins that I've been accumulating since the bear market bottom and my plan to make over $10 million this bull run cycle. Some of these projects I'm preparing for 20 to 40x gains. Some of them maybe even more than that. Some of them maybe a little bit less than that, around 5 to 10x. But by the end of this video, you're going to have a rock solid understanding of why I pick these altcoins to add to my portfolio. That doesn't mean that you should add them to your portfolio. This video is just purely designed to help you do your own research because I make no financial advice. You should always consult your financial advisor because crypto's risky. You could definitely lose money in these markets if you don't know what you're doing. But if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a few altcoins that are flying underneath the radar. And some of these altcoins are already on the move. So you do not want to miss out, because when the total altcoin market really starts breaking out, Bitcoin's dominance drops, and I get into the charts and I show you what these projects are looking like from a technical analysis perspective. Leading into December and January, I'm expecting to see some of the most explosive gains in the markets. Now, I've been navigating the crypto space for the past 8 years, and my team and I have assembled the best research team in the game to provide you guys with the most value, the best altcoins, and the step-by-step education so you can maximize your results while minimizing your downside. So these altcoins aren't just some random picks. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been through multiple bull runs, so I've experienced the highs and I've experienced the lows from the emotions that come with making a lot of money and also losing a lot of money. So by the end of this video, my goal is to jam-pack this with a lot of value. So you're going to see timestamps in the description below for those of you that do want to just skip to the altcoins. But for those of you that want to see the thesis and the understanding of what I see happening in the markets, why I've personally gone all in with crypto, and where I see the markets going over the next few years, even the next few bull runs, then consider watching this entire video. I know you're going to love it. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish. And as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So looking at coinmarketcap.com, Bitcoin is still hovering around $90,000. We're not going to talk too much about Bitcoin in this video. We're just going to dive right into what's happening with the entire altcoin market and which altcoins I see performing exceptionally well the rest of this bull run. So the first thing that we need to look at is the market cap dominance for Bitcoin, sitting roughly at 60%. So altcoin season will start as soon as the 3-week MACD crosses bearish. Now, this was a great post by Crypto Prof right here. And I like to bring you guys lots of different viewpoints in the markets from different analysts. And if it lines up with what I'm seeing on the markets as well too, then that will help us all get a better understanding of the most likely case scenario. Now, once this happens, as you can see, I've covered this in a previous video, right here on the little corner right here that you guys can see, that little cross right there. You won't see these top altcoins at these prices for much longer. We will see multiple X's across the board, and the market will be in complete FOMO stage for several months. This is just the start of what's to come. Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of these altcoins have started their first rally while Bitcoin's dominance still remains high. So in my opinion, this is just the appetizer. It's just a little taste. It's just a little pregame of what's to come. And if we look at this chart right here and compare back to the past, after Bitcoin's halving, roughly 224 days is when the alt season starts. Now, also on the relative strength index right here on the weekly chart, you guys can see the RSI topped out well before Bitcoin's halving. So in 2023, we also see the RSI at near 70. So if the RSI pushes a little bit further to the upside before rolling over, we're nearing in on 224 days post Bitcoin's halving. So it's lining up perfectly with past market cycles. And the reason why Bitcoin's dominance is so important to pay attention to is because that's how much of the market cap of the whole industry Bitcoin holds. So if Bitcoin holds 60% of the whole industry and that drops to 50%, 40%, or 30%, then that liquidity has to flow somewhere. And if we look at total 3, which is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is like a heartbeat and a pulse on every single other altcoin in the market. And you can see that we're sitting at roughly $820 billion. The all-time high is 1.1 trillion. So while Bitcoin is virtually in price discovery, hovering at 90K, the altcoin market is still behind. Now look at the past bull run cycle and paired up with Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator on where we were at this current stage in the cycle when we transitioned from orange to yellow. on the first bar on the monthly candles, this is a macro time frame of yellow, you can see us at roughly $140 billion. Once we went into the second month on this yellow candle, we broke out from there and we went all the way up of 200 billion. And then we saw bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle for several months. So that rally lasted, over 150 days, and we were up over 600, 700% for the altcoin market. And so we broke through this resistance of this complacency stage, dead cat bounce from that bear market right here, and we just blasted right through it, that month. So this monthly candle is what I'm looking at right here. Now, what's interesting is if we look at the complacency stage bounce and also the color code going from light green to blue, very, very similar, right? Now, obviously, the blow off top wasn't as parabolic as it was in January of 2018 for altcoins, but nonetheless, it still topped out at light green right here on the chart, as you guys can see, before going to light blue for a complacency stage bounce where people thought that, oh, this is just a recovery, you just need to hold, I'm in good projects. And then we saw the breakdown, FTX collapse, Terra Luna, Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, all those companies just collapsing, taking everyone's money. That's the bear market, right? And so we go through a bear market roughly every 1,400 plus days. So from top to top. Now, if we were to measure when the top could be in, obviously this is not 100% accurate, but by September 2025. So I'm expecting between August to December of 2025 for the top to come in, and we'll get there when it comes. But right now, where we are is very similar to where we were in the past. We are in month 2 on this yellow candle right here, breaking out from this consolidation phase and also retesting this complacency stage high, just like what happened back here by January of 2021. And so what I would expect to happen over the next month, if we can break this resistance at roughly $850 billion and hold it as support, is for face melting gains to be made over the next 2 to 3 months. And this is the last chance, guys. I know you see this in a lot of videos, but if you look at the past, if anything like this happens, it's the last chance, because you do not want to be buying into the markets all the way up here before we go from yellow to green, because there's not much gains to be made left. So a lot of retail is going to be buying in the markets at a top like this. Then they're going to experience a 57% drop in their portfolio, and they're either going to sell out or they're going to hold, and then they hold to the top and they get a 15%. That's like turning $1,000 into $1,150. So you'd only be making $150. And so where the most amount of money is made is obviously buying at the bottom, but we can't rewind the clock here. For those of you that didn't listen to me and listen to our channel all the way at the bear market bottom when I was making videos all the way down here talking about what's to come, now we're seeing it happen. So this is the last stop if crypto is going to go up. Now, if crypto doesn't go up and we see some type of black swan event happen, well, then that's just going to be a better opportunity to buy any dip. But this is lining up perfectly to the past. So pay close attention here, because $1 billion in USDT was just minted at the Tether treasury. A mega pump is incoming. Every time this happens in terms of stable coins, we see the markets rally. Now let's look at the market cap dominance for Tether and let's compare it to the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Then we'll get into these top 10 altcoins, timestamps below as well too. I just like to give you guys my thesis, and based on facts and based on the charts, where we're going because of how the past has lined up, and compare all these things together for confluence so you can have a better understanding of what to do with your portfolio. So at the top of the screen, we can see Tether's market cap dominance all the way back here in October of 2020, when this whole consolidation phase was done and we started marching upwards back to the all-time high and inevitably broke out. It's a hard word to say. Inevitably, I know it's like a tongue twister, broke out to the all-time high over that period that I just showed you on, Bitcoin's price chart as well too. So when we see Tether's dominance up here, it was at 5%. Well, what happened during that rally? Tether's dominance came all the way down here to 1.9% and then just hovered between 1% to 3% until we saw that next correction take place all the way up here, where we saw like a 50% drop and inevitably like a 70% drop in a lot of altcoins during that period. And then Tether's dominance went from 2% all the way upwards of 5%. And then we saw another sell-off right here for that second rally up. So this is inversely correlated. When Tether's market cap dominance drops, we see altcoins go up. And so right now, or let's look back to the 2nd of September 2024, very similar to the 5th of October of 2020, this consolidation period right here where the markets were selling off in this massive bull flag right here, because you can see a rounded bottom formation and then you see lower highs right here and lower lows. And now we're breaking out from this bull flag, and the only resistance before the all-time high is the high of March. And then after that, it's the all-time high and then ultimately off to the races. And so as you guys can see, during that whole sell-off, Tether was rallying into this altcoin sell-off from the middle of March. And so because we've been consolidating for the past, 170, 180 plus days, it is now time for the markets to go up. We have two types of markets. We have a ranging market and we have a trending market. We're either ranging sideways, boring, nothing's really happening. That's like back here. We were ranging sideways. Nothing was really happening for that period of time. We're ranging somewhat down, but mostly sideways. For the past 6 months, nothing's really happening, or we're trending up or we're trending down. Now, in my opinion, we are about to start trending up. And what's going to happen to Tether's market cap dominance is what we're seeing right now. It is going to start trending down. Now, we'll see how low Tether's market cap dominance is, but because all of this USDT was just minted at the Tether treasury, that money is going to flow into a lot of these altcoins. And so very similar to what we saw happen right here, what I would expect for Tether is for Tether to continuously lose market cap dominance and then bottom out at some point. Now, I don't know where that bottom's going to come for Tether's dominance. It doesn't necessarily matter as much, but what matters is when that happens, we see the altcoin market push up to the all-time high, potentially past the all-time high, and then we see another major correction like what happened back here. So I believe that would be a sell the news event by the rumors leading up to Inauguration Day. And then we see a rotation of capital from Bitcoin when Bitcoin's market cap dominance drops, just like I showed you right here, into a lot of the large cap, mid cap, and micro cap projects. So a lot of these large caps still have 5x, 10x, 15x, even 20x potential if you're in the right projects. In this bull run thus far, our research team has caught a lot of the majority of the top plays all the way back at these levels down here at the bear market bottom, even just recently before this breakout just started. For example, our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. We have about 200 members right now, and we literally just launched like less than 5 days ago at the time of making this video. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside. So this is how you guys are going to get real-time altcoin picks over the next few months for the rest of this bull run, so you never miss out on emerging opportunities. Because if you're watching this video a week from right now and the altcoin market is absolutely taking off, there's going to be some newer opportunities that pop up that you don't want to miss out on. So definitely check that out in the description below. But the first altcoin on today's list is none other than XRP. Now, when we look at XRP over the past day, it's up 4%, but over the past week, up 83%, over the past month, up over 100%, and XRP has been asleep for a while. Now the beast is finally starting to wake up because of the regulatory changes that are happening in the United States. So even with a $62 billion market cap, I do think XRP has that 20x potential. Now up to 40x, we would most likely need to see total 2 upwards of $10 trillion. And so that's in a bullish case scenario, but XRP is a no-brainer in my portfolio. It's the largest holding in my portfolio, and for several different reasons. So I just made this post on Twitter yesterday saying if XRP hits $2 in the next 7 days, I will give 100 XRP to one person who likes my post on Twitter and is following my page. So you guys can check that out. Just go to Run Life Nick. There's about 253 comments, 24 shares, 63 comments. If you have nothing to lose, definitely go check that out. I'll be posting stuff on my Twitter throughout the rest of this bull run, along with BULLRUNNERS HQ. So when we look at the XRP price chart with this breakout right here, we can see this bullish flag right here. It did just break below this support. And so the next support to watch for XRP is all the way down at $1. That would need to hold to maintain this uptrend. If it doesn't, it's just going to completely invalidate this cup and handle formation where you guys can see the breakout to the high of $1.26. We see this rounded bottom formation, multiple points of contact at this bottom right here. You know, we start this new uptrend. We came back up to retest the high, failed. We failed this breakout as well too. And now we just broke below the support. So I would be watching for a potential backtest of all the way down here. And this would need to hold to see a reversal to the upside. Now, if we break back within this channel, and this was just a liquidity flush out right here, well, if we draw, you know, this line right here from the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup, and we put it at a potential breakout point, that could move XRP in the short term to around $1.40 if we see a breakout with the rest of the market. Now, zooming out on the macro, on the 1 week chart, we can see XRP at the upper echelon of this descending resistance on this 7-year symmetrical triangle. Now, if we draw the line a little bit further down, it looks like it broke above it, but let's just put it at the upper echelon right here, and let's draw from the COVID low to where we are right now. The interesting thing about the XRP price chart right now is with this breakout from 50 cents to $1, I would expect XRP to consolidate for a little bit at these levels. Even if we come back down to $1 for a little bit, when in doubt, zoom out, right? Look at how small of a correction that would be down to $1 and still be holding at this descending resistance. The most important thing to focus on is if we bring up the Bitcoin dominance chart, you guys can see that last bull run, XRP didn't really even start to run until Bitcoin topped out above 70% on the 28th of December. And then XRP was bottoming out right here because the lawsuit was filed, complete insider nonsense from Jay Clayton, ETHgate, all of that crap to suppress the price. 16 cents. And then after that, when Bitcoin's dominance dropped, XRP did over a 10x while it was still suppressed. This bull run, guys, there's going to be no lawsuit. This lawsuit's going to come to a conclusion. It's pretty much already done. XRP is not a security. They just need to figure out the settlement amount. So there's going to be no boot on the car, so to speak. And even last bull run, with the boot on the car, XRP still drove at 1,000 miles an hour, going up over a 10x from that low after Bitcoin's dominance dropped. And look at Bitcoin's dominance right here. It fell from 70% at the peak of that rally for XRP. The dominance was all the way in a free fall, down 30+%, falling into the 40 cent range, inevitably coming all the way down here to like 39%. And so alt season hasn't even started because look at Bitcoin's dominance. It's in this rising wedge. Now, what I'm expecting in a rising wedge is a potential blow off top. That would be the next leg up for Bitcoin to break above this ascending resistance right here, potentially top out anywhere between 60, 70%, kind of similar to what happened last year for the last hurrah for Bitcoin leading into Inauguration Day. And then I would expect a sell the news type event for Bitcoin, maybe a short-term sell-off in some altcoins, but inevitably leading into March, you know, a parabolic rally for altcoins as Bitcoin's dominance drops. And then into May, sell in May, go away. A little lull in the summer, and for us to see some like random AI coins, random meme coins, gaming projects take off that are launching in the summer, and then for the last final parabolic blow off top in the stage. So when this drop happens for Bitcoin's dominance, that's when I expect the next major leg up for XRP. So the fact that we already did 100% and Bitcoin's dominance is still at 60%, something's off here. Because during the last bull run from the COVID low, when we saw XRP rallying up right here, this was during a period where Bitcoin's dominance was dropping. So Bitcoin's dominance has been rising and XRP just broke out. So this is either old holders of a lot of other projects rotating money into XRP, or there's something much bigger going on here with new money entering the market. And I think it's a combination of the two. But listen to what Brad Garlinghouse just said about Ripple unlocking the US market.
95% of our customers are outside the United States. And eventually, I think we'll unlock the US market because these are technologies that I view as inevitable. They're, from a transaction dynamic, it's lower cost, it's faster, it's more reliable. It's more auditable. So there's a lot of positives that eventually I think will play out in a way that's good for constituents, citizens of the United States.
So along with these top 10 altcoins, here are 10 reasons why XRP could potentially skyrocket to $10 and beyond this bull run, according to Ito Farina. Number one, the SEC lawsuit is about to end. Without that overhanging on Ripple's head, that's massive, guys. That's massive. That's the boot that I was talking about on the car, so to speak. Number two, only digital asset that's regulated. Number three, RLUSD, their stablecoin is launching. That's going to bring so much liquidity into XRP. Number four, Trump is pro-crypto. Also, Trump supposedly met with Brad Garlinghouse in my video yesterday. If you guys didn't watch that, or I think it was 2 days ago that I published that video. So Trump being pro-Bitcoin, Trump being pro-crypto, Elon Musk is pro-crypto. That's just a bullish catalyst for the whole industry overall. Number five, bye-bye Gary Gensler. On day one, whether Gary steps down before then to avoid embarrassment, if he doesn't, well, then he has to face the wrath of Donald Trump's "you're fired" quote and get out of office. Number six, they have the best technology, very, very fast, very, very cheap, very, very cost effective. The blockchain doesn't go down, unlike Solana. Even though I'm bullish on Solana, I've seen Solana go down multiple times. I just don't see the same adoption on an institutional level with like banks. For Solana, Solana is more of like a crypto trader's coin that took off because of all the meme coins that were launching on it. Whereas XRP went a different route and their target market was not crypto people. I even requested to go to the Ripple Swell event out here in Miami, Florida, where I live, and they denied me. It shows that they don't want retail because our audience is majority retail. You know, we're the voice for the underdogs, the people that aren't institutional whales. Bull runners are everyday people striving to create generational wealth through the crypto market. So Ripple's going after these big institutions. Now you can love it or hate it, but we're showing you guys how to make money from it. So the XRP ETFs potentially coming soon. Brad Garlinghouse said it's inevitable that there's going to be ETFs, especially for XRP. So institutional FOMO is starting to happen. I believe it's institutional money in the United States coming in because of the presidency change, the change in leadership, the change at the SEC, Ripple's IPO. And this guy right here, Yoshitaka Kitao, the CEO of SBI Group, an SBI Holdings company, over in Tokyo, Japan, this is a company that provides financial services in a wide range of categories, including securities, asset management, banking, insurance, etc. And according to the most recent report, total assets on balance sheet as of March is about 179, almost 180 billion dollars. Well, he posted this in response to somebody's comment on Twitter saying Ripple, SEC, and then Japanese that I can't read, but we copied this and we took it to a translator, and it says Ripple should start preparing for an IPO as soon as possible after the SEC case is settled. So when that news hits about the SEC case being settled, Gary Gensler officially stepping out of office, Ripple potentially IPOing, RLUSD stablecoin, those are the most bullish catalysts that you could possibly have. Now, those are all the facts. Then we have rumors about Elon Musk integrating XRP with X payments, which hasn't officially yet been confirmed, but that would just be the final nail in the coffin because everything else is coming to fruition that we've been saying over the past few years. Now, the next altcoin that I think is inevitably going to 20 to 40x in the future is HBAR. I posted HBAR in our Telegram group through the link in the description below. We have 12,000 people when this was below 6 cents. It was all the way down here, virtually at the bottom back in September of this year. And then HBAR inevitably bottomed out around 4 cents. And now it's up over 100%. But when we zoom out, you can see the all-time high for HBAR is 50 cents and the market cap currently is at $4.6 billion, which might seem like a lot of money, but HBAR, just like XRP, is starting to wake up. Notice how these projects are waking up at the same time. And when we go to Hedera's website, you guys can see their governing council is backed by some of the largest companies in the world. We got Boeing, we got Google, Dell Technologies, we got IBM, Ubisoft, we got Standard Bank, we got Chainlink Labs, Hitachi, LG. The list goes on and on and on. So their use cases are real world asset tokenization, and Hedera is a decentralized open source proof of stake public ledger that utilizes the leaderless, asynchronous, Byzantine fault tolerance, ABFT hashgraph consensus algorithm. Now I know that sounds super complicated. That's definitely over my head, but their performance optimized Ethereum virtual machine smart contracts, along with its easy to use native tokenization and consensus service APIs, enable developers to create real-time Web3 applications and ecosystems that will drive the future of the internet. Now, all of that is just a bunch of mumbo jumbo unless there's actual adoption of their utility. So just recently, a couple days ago, 1 billion USD worth of HBAR was bought from the market. And did you know that Saudi Arabia and Qatar, who are usually not best friends, both invested about 300 million into Hedera Hashgraph? Why would they do that? Well, it's because they know something that you don't know. What's one of those things that they know? Well, HBAR's board member, Brian Brooks, potentially is the next chairman of the SEC. He was nominated twice by Donald Trump for a 5-year term as comptroller of the currency, once during the 116th Congress and once in the 117th Congress. The former CEO of Binance US is a top candidate for the job as well, as Trump is building a cabinet full of the brightest minds in America, specifically in crypto. And an approval of an HBAR ETF could be just right around the corner, potentially unlocking massive institutional inflows into the Hedera network. And here's a clip of Brian Brooks from HBAR testifying, showing that he clearly understands the crypto market, unlike Gary Gensler.
The innovation of Web 2 was that suddenly you could not only read content, but you could also write content. This is when the blogosphere became a big thing. People remember this from the late 90s, the early 2000s. The reason for the centralization of the internet, of course, was that all of that activity was being monetized by a very small number of companies. Facebook, as the chairwoman mentions, Google, and 2 or 3 other companies. What makes Web 3 different is the ability to own the actual network. And that's what crypto assets themselves represent, is an ownership stake in an underlying network. So when you hear people talk about, for example, layer 1 tokens, what they mean is this is your reward for providing the ledger maintenance services, the computing power to the network that on Web 1 and 2 was done by Google, right? So now people in my hometown of Pueblo, Colorado can actually own the Ethereum network, but they can't own the internet. That's owned by Google and a few other companies. That's what the project of crypto is all about, is allowing people to directly own the networks that have native assets that are supporting it. And that's the nature of decentralization, where the token holders are the people who control the asset, not
so
Google.
Token holders, for our language here on the Hill, those are digital assets, right? Which are the keys to open up the ledger for you to participate, right?
Correct.
So describe to us how those digital assets fit into this internet revolution, Web 3.
So the concept is that you have sort of application layer tokens and you have protocol layer tokens. So if I'm an owner of Bitcoin, let's say that I'm a miner of Bitcoin, somebody who actually creates Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is the reward I receive for doing the work to keep the network operational, and that allows me to own a piece of the Bitcoin blockchain. Or take Ethereum, which is easier to understand. The Ether token represents an ownership stake in the network, but on top of that network are all kinds of apps that get built on the network, much like the apps on your phone depend on the underlying network existing that lets the phone operate. And so people will make judgments about which network is likely to win, and they will invest in the tokens in that network much the same way you might invest in Google stock because you think Google is going to scale access to the original internet. The difference being here, you can vote on what happens in the future of a proof of stake network, for example. You can get rewarded through a proof of work token for maintaining a ledger on something like Bitcoin. But the real message here is that what happens on the decentralized internet is decided by the investors, versus what happens on the main internet is decided by Twitter, Facebook, Google, and a small number of other companies.
Okay, so getting this layer on digital assets right, for Congress to understand this, everything is built upon that on-ramp to this new internet. So very important for us to be sensitive to how this develops and any actions we take in terms of laws and updating laws to incorporate these new technologies.
Yeah, Mr. McHenry, couldn't agree more. And I think when you hear about all of the problems of different big tech companies, the importance of an owner-controlled network becomes clear.
And this was also posted by Sean here on Twitter saying, once the HBAR stablecoin studio rumors become news, I don't understand how HBAR will stay below $1. It kind of makes no physical sense. It's the most insanely groundbreaking thing I've heard about an altcoin. Hedera would basically be used by the whole Planet. An HBAR governing council companies Google and Mondelez are reportedly working on a crypto Oreo edition Pixel 10 powered by Hedera. Now, I don't eat Oreos. I think they're trash, but both Google and Oreo's parent company have not only previously worked together on Android 8 Oreo, but also sit on Hedera's council. According to the source, the phone's flagship feature will be an AI-powered camera app with one-click NFT generation. So Google hosted an HBAR governing council meeting at their HQ in Silicon Valley earlier this year, and a few weeks later, Oreo's parent company joined Hedera. Now, HBAR's chart on the weekly is in a macro symmetrical triangle. So if we were to draw from the top of the triangle to the base of the triangle right here, if a potential breakout happens here soon for HBAR, well, that could put the price at $2.27. Now, that's no guarantee here, but if we were to draw the fib extension tool from the high to the low, that would be almost exactly at a 4.236, which back from September when I was posting HBAR on our Telegram at around 5 cents right here, that would be roughly a 4,000% or a 44x. Now, if you're looking at HBAR right now, it is a little bit overheated. Maybe it comes down a little bit in the short term to like 8 cents. We'll see, or it just consolidates in ranges. Like I said, there's two types of markets, ranging sideways for a little bit like XRP at this descending resistance before seeing the next major breakout. In the short term, we don't necessarily know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody does. But in the macro, we have a very clear understanding of what's going to happen. That's why HBAR holds a position in my portfolio. Now, HBAR is diving in to capitalize on the real world asset space. So on coinmarketcap.com, you guys can see the top categories up here with memes, AI, gaming, RWA deep in. So if we click on the RWA fire, we can see a lot of these top projects up here. And the number one real world asset project that I'm the most bullish on for this bull run is Ondo. Now, Ondo is sitting just below $1, and our research team called Ondo very, very early in the cycle. Now, I still think it's pretty early for Ondo. It's sitting at $1.3 billion market cap. It's on Ethereum's blockchain. If you guys want to know where these projects are listed, it's really simple. You just click on market and you'll see all of the exchanges right here. Now, what Ondo is focusing on is on-chain institutional grade financial products and services. And so if we scroll down here on their website, they are the market leader in tokenization of real world assets. And they have a diverse range of institutional and crypto native partners and service providers such as BlackRock with over 10 or $11 trillion assets under management, Morgan Stanley, Yearn Finance, Injective, Coinbase, Anchorage Digital, Mantle, Polygon. They have over $650 million in total value locked. They're also in yield, liquidity, bridging, payments, DeFi tools. They plan to release OMMF, US government money market funds, and DeFi products. They have an executive team of 20 plus previous experience with Goldman Sachs, Bridgewater, Millennium, MakerDAO. They have 194K followers on X with an average of 250 likes per post. The community is very strong. In terms of tokenomics, it's a 6 out of 10. They have a 10 billion max supply with 14% in circulation. So not the best, but 8.6 billion is going to be released until 2030. They're listed on virtually all of the top exchanges. So I thought this was a great sheet right here from Crypto Reviewing on Twitter. Taking into account this is Ondo's first bull run, the chart is still relatively new. You can see right here on Coinbase on January is when it got listed, and we see it's breaking out from this double bottom trend reversal. You can see, bottom number 1 right here, or this bottom number 1 could be this wick all the way down here. Bottom number 2 is right here at this ascending support. It's a higher low. We can see the neckline right here at roughly 88 cents, which also acted as support back here on this candle body close from the 1st of July to the 8th of July on the weekly chart. And so the fact that Ondo broke above on the weekly, this resistance, it now needs to hold it as support to act as the launch pad to go back up to retest the all-time high. So I think the next move for Ondo is going to be very, very big to the all-time high or past the all-time high. And then if we zoom all the way out on the chart, if we were to draw the fib extension tool just from the high to the low, I think a 4.236 extension of like $4.90 is not where Ondo is going to top out. Now, my guess is that it tops out well above this once real world assets really start going mainstream and people truly start to grasp how big they're going to be, because somewhere around $15 trillion by 2030, let alone by the end of this bull run when institutional FOMO really starts kicking in and retail start diving into the market during the greed and the euphoria stage. This first little rally for Ondo, in my opinion, was the disbelief stage. So as we go into hope, belief, thrill, and then euphoria, we see a blow off top like this. And then we see the end of the market come in December of 2025. And then we see a complacency stage bounce, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, depending on how low we go. And then I think Ondo will find a bottom wherever the bottom is. We just don't know, right? Because it really depends on how high Ondo goes. And then if it loses 80 to 90% of its value during the next bear market, well, we exit on the way up all the way over here, leading into the greed and euphoria stage of the market, and then we can short the market on the way down. When you join Altcoin Pro University, we'll be educating you guys the entire bear market as well too. Then we basically buy back in on the low, and then we ride the next bull market rally up as well too, leading into 2030 when real world assets are really mainstream. So I think Ondo is going to survive multiple bull runs, but we're going to take it one bull run at a time, and this bull run is going to be massive for Ondo. Now, the next altcoin on today's list, I posted around 20 to 22 cents in the Telegram. It's sitting at 28 cents right now, and that is Clearpool. So where Ondo is over $1.3 billion market cap, this one is still underneath 200 million. So I think Clearpool could actually run in the short term faster than Ondo and catch up to Ondo. It is another contender in the real world asset space. The max supply is 1 billion. The circulating supply is 700 million, so it does have better tokenomics in terms of what's in circulation. The fully diluted is only 280 million. It's not too far off from 200 million in terms of the market cap, so the market cap's lower. In terms of exchanges, it's not listed on a Binance or a Coinbase yet, so if that were to happen, or when it would happen, then that would cause a massive influx in volume as well too. They say they are the first decentralized credit marketplace with over $643 million in loans originated, $88 million total value locked. I've covered Clearpool in a previous video that you guys can go check out, so I'm not going to dive too in depth on this project, but they're backed by Sequoia, Arlington Capital, Hashkey Group, Wintermute. You can earn compound interest on every block by lending to vetted institutions. You can stake Clearpool to help secure Clearpool's interest rate mechanism and earn a yield on your stake Clearpool. And then you can securely transfer Clearpool between Ethereum and Polygon chains to Bridge. So they have permission lending through institutional grade DeFi, KYC, and AML compliant access to the largest global network for wholesale borrowing and lending of digital assets. They got about 56,000 followers on their Twitter. Their revenue has been increasing consistently with the Clearpool buyback and revenue surging by 76% from Q2, where 50% of the tokens were burned and 50% were deposited to rewards. They've been pioneering this real world asset movement even before real world assets were even a term. Clearpool tokenized the majority of their financial assets since launch in 2022. In their upcoming launch of Ozone, the blockchain for real-world asset yield is set to elevate the ecosystem to the next level. Listen to what Larry Fink had to say over at BlackRock about real-world assets.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stock. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. If you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own shares.
Now looking at Clearpool's chart right here, it's its first bull run as well too. So a lot of these projects, they're going through their first bull run, usually see the most parabolic gains. And if it can survive after the bear market, then that just cements it for the next bull run, like a lot of these dinosaur coins as well too. So a lot of momentum is flowing into these newer, exciting projects that are gaining market share and adoption. And so, for example, we can see from the low of August, it's been in a healthy uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. Now, the trend is your friend until we see a trend reversal. And inevitably, if we can break this high right here on the 7th of June, the next high is the all-time high at 38 cents, and then it's off to the races from there. And so what I would expect is just a continuous consolidation in this bullish channel as we just form higher highs and higher lows. We could see some pullbacks in the short term. It's definitely normal to come back down to this ascending support, which is probably like, 23 cents. We come back down to 21 cents. In the short term, it doesn't really matter because when a breakout happens above the all-time high, it goes into price discovery. We see massive momentum happen quick, and we see parabolic green candles with the rest of the market. And depending on how high Clearpool goes on that breakout, then we see another consolidation take place where we see some type of triangle formation, whether that's a rising wedge, symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle. It doesn't matter what that is. What we pay attention to is where the trend is moving. And because the trend is our friend, we are in a bull trend for Clearpool. I posted this project all the way back down here between like 15 cents to 20 cents because we broke the high of the 21st of July right here, and we were holding it at support within these levels. Now, if we can hold this high right here from the 6th of June, that's a great sign because that would act as a launch pad to retest the all-time high and inevitably break past it. So I think the next move for Clearpool into price discovery is going to be massive. Now, how high could it go this bull run? Well, if we just draw the fibs from the high to the low, a full extension, $1.40. Well, where we are currently from right now, that's roughly 400%. And I think it could do well beyond that. No guarantees, obviously, but look at the market cap. It's at $200 million. A 10X is only $2 billion. A 40X would be an $8 billion market cap. Now, to put that into perspective for you guys, we've seen meme coins go to like $8 billion market caps on this first rally of the bull run cycle, let alone what's going to happen to utility-driven projects. But $8 billion right now would put that at like Bitcoin Cash levels. And Bitcoin Cash is a dinosaur project. That's where Pepe's at. That's where Polkadot's at right now. Near protocols at $7 billion. So if Clearpool absorbs a large chunk of that influx of liquidity into the real world asset sector, then it could do very, very well. So we'll see how high it goes. But I encourage you to just keep it on your watch list. Again, don't buy or sell any of these guys. I'm just sharing with you my thesis and what I see happening in the markets. Now, the next altcoin on the list is Algorand. Algorand sitting at 21 cents, $1.7 billion market cap. Now, for the people thinking like, when's he going to talk about some micro cap projects that are at like 10 million or 50 million or $100 million market cap? Listen, guys, when the rotation happens from Bitcoin's dominance, it's going to flow into the large cap projects. These are the most legit plays right now in crypto. There are a few lower cap, riskier plays that I want to share towards the end of this video, but I want to give you some of the most rock solid picks in my portfolio that are part of my top 10. Now, I do hold others that I wish I could have added to this list, but I'll make other videos on that because I hold a lot of different crypto projects because I watch these markets every single day. But over the past 7 days, Algorand is up 37%. The max supply is 10 billion. The circulating supply is 8.2 billion. So over 80% in circulation. That's very good. The fully diluted valuation is 2.1 billion. The market cap is 1.76. So that's a really good FDV to market cap. And if we go over the past month, 74% up. Over the past year, it's still down from the high of March of 30 plus cents. Now, if we go to all, this is where it gets incredible for Algorand on the chart. We are still off from the high of $2.30 back of 2021. For people to think that Algorand is not going to retest that all-time high are still asleep right now. We're sitting at 21 cents. We're just a 10x away from that. Algorand is an energy efficient, quantum secure, single layer blockchain with instant finality, consistently high throughput, and low fees. Businesses across the globe are leveraging the Algorand blockchain to deliver efficient impact and opportunity. For example, Lofty provides fractional homeownership by tokenizing real estate, enabling investors across the US to own a fraction of a property. So they're diving into tokenization of real world assets as well too. Staking rewards are coming to Algorand early December of this year. Algorand has been forging partnerships with organizations across the globe to contribute to the advancement of the overall blockchain industry and to drive adoption of the Algorand blockchain. For example, they have the University of East London, University of Florida, the British Blockchain Association, DREC Alliance, Global Blockchain Business Council, and several others, and how they enable solutions at scale. They say 10,000 transactions per second, instant finality, no rollbacks, no partitioning, no uncertainty, peer proof of stake, block by block agreement, ensuring data integrity. They're on Python, one of the oldest languages online. They're one of the OG projects. They have over 300,000 followers on Twitter. They were created back in 2019 by Silvio Macaulay, the father of modern cryptography. He is notably the co-inventor of zero knowledge proofs, ZKPs, and Satoshi Nakamoto used his work to create Bitcoin. Peer proof of stake, 10,000 transactions per second, 0.001 Algorand fee per transaction, zero downtime since 2019, since their launch, permissionless blockchain, no failed on-chain transactions, no forks, no block reorgs, no rollbacks. They're the leader in post-quantum security, carbon negative since 2022, largest on-chain governance, 37 million accounts created, 1,000 decentralized apps in the ecosystem, 1.1 billion Algorand in their DeFi total value locked. And some of the real-world projects using or building on Algorand, some of which I just named, but you have all these other major companies right down here. So Algorand is another one of the Goliath companies to watch over the future. And when we look at Algorand's chart on the daily, we can see the bear market bottom all the way back here, we can see bottom number 2 right here before it woke up along with XRP, HBAR, and some other dinosaur coins. And we can see the neckline, which is the resistance right here at roughly 33 cents, give or take a penny or two. It doesn't have to be exact, right? So for a double bottom trend reversal to take place, we would need to see a break and a hold above this resistance to hold it as support. Otherwise, Algorand could get rejected. It could come back down and consolidate in this much more macro ascending triangle right here. But if we were to measure how far off we are from the all-time high for Algorand, that's over a 10x just to get back to the all-time high. If we draw the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high to the bear market low, a full extension for Algorand is $11.80. And so just to measure from where we are right now to do a 4.236, that's over a 5,000% or a 50x for Algorand. Now, does it mean it'll get that high? No. To make life-changing wealth, it doesn't need to get anywhere close to that. I mean, even if it did just a 1.618, barely above the all-time high, that's still a 20x for this project. So I think Algorand has that 20 to 40x potential. Now, whether it happens this bull run or by 2030, it's very clear that Algorand is undervalued compared to what happened last bull run during 2021's rally. So it survived the bear market, it's starting to recover, it's waking up from these lows right here, along with the other dinosaur projects. And when we look at the ISO 222 standard, which is a global financial messaging standard that promotes and standardizes data exchange between financial institutions, by March of 2025, the Federal Reserve is expected to have ISO pretty much completely integrated. And then by November of 2025, it's going to be fully functional across the globe. So this is going to completely change banking forever. And there's a list of ISO compliant coins for 2024 going into 2025. And we can see XRP on the list. We can see HBAR on the list. And we can also see Algorand. So definitely keep Algorand on your watch list this bull run. On all, it's down 93% from the all-time high. And this actually goes back to 2019, over $3. So I was just showing you the high of 2021. Imagine if it goes back to the true all-time high. So I encourage you to keep Algorand on your watch list for this bull run. The next altcoin on the list is Internet Computer, or ICP. I made a video about ICP a while back before this breakout took place, when ICP was like at $3 or $4. And since then, ICP rallied to over $18, and currently right now it's sitting at $9, and it's been consolidating for a while since that sell-off took place. It's sitting at $4.4 billion market cap. The fully diluted valuation is just right under $5 billion, so really close to the market cap. Now, it says the max supply is infinite. The total supply is 525 million, which isn't the worst thing in the world because Dogecoin has an infinite supply. Same thing for Ethereum. So I think people take that at face value too literally. What really matters is adoption, institutional money coming in. And as long as there isn't too much released into circulation too fast, you can check the token unlocks right here at the top on CoinMarketCap, and it'll show you where we are today in the expected token unlocks in the future leading into April of 2025. But right now, the circulating supply is 474 million. The total supply is 525 million. Now, Internet Computer hosts secure, network-resistant code and data, build Web3 apps without big tech and current IT. Applications are immune to cyber attacks and unstoppable. They're capable of processing tokens and can run under exclusive DAO control, build Web3 social media, games, DeFi, multi-chain apps, secure font ends, ledgers, enterprise apps, AI models. The internet is evolving fast, and Internet Computers position themselves to do a lot on this project, guys. It is absolutely insane the amount of utility that they have. If we dive into their roadmap right here, by the Dfinity Foundation, the roadmap is split into 9 themes, each highlighting upcoming milestones, features that are further into the future and not yet scoped in detail, as well as past achievements. So what I like about this project right here is because they have so much utility, whatever's hot, they can really double down on, and they can expand that out to absorb a large chunk of the liquidity flowing into whatever sector they really want, like computing, decentralized artificial intelligence, chain fusion, privacy, platform decentralization, identity, DeFi protocols, real-world asset tokenization. The list goes on and on and on. If we go over to their Twitter, if ICP were to hit the market cap of Ethereum, that would be 86x from right here. Compare that to something like Near. You got Polkadot, you got Sui, We have Toncoin, Avalanche, ADA, BNB, Solana. It ranks number 1 out of all these projects in terms of multiples to catch up to Ethereum. All these other blockchains out there are adopting features that ICP had from the beginning. It's a very, very good sign because ICP was one of the originals. Think of it like this. ICP is the spaceship that's launched using advanced LED lighting, while other blockchains were stuck with power-hungry light bulbs. Now they can switch to LED lighting, but that doesn't mean that they can just slap a rocket engine onto their horse-drawn carriages to make them fly. It's a whole different level that ICP solves. It's the first general-purpose blockchain designed for on-chain computing and data management, with token ledger being less than 1% of its capabilities. Its main strength is 1,000x plus in computing, hosting, and data management. And you guys know the whole internet is run off of data. You know, when Stripe bought eBay, actually no, eBay bought Stripe, is because they bought their database of customers. And ICP complements ledger blockchains rather than replacing them, enabling decentralized apps to migrate from centralized stacks to a truly decentralized Web3 setup. Now, for those of you guys that were around during the last bull run, you saw ICP launch at an insane valuation because of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. They pumped up the price of ICP to $2,800 and then dumped on everyone's head. And then they funneled a lot of money into Solana. They pumped Solana up, and then ICP's price was suppressed from that, and it dropped all the way down to $2.80. So I was sharing this with you guys, and I was talking about this just massive descending resistance right here. And if it were to break, we could expect ICP to retest these levels right here, even coming all the way back up to these levels all the way over here. And that's pretty much exactly what we did. You know, we went upwards of $20 and we saw this consolidation. And it's funny because like these lines drawn on the chart right here of the support and resistance were the levels that I had back from drawing the descending resistance. So we came all the way up here, we back test these levels all the way since April of 2022, and we saw this sell-off period to retest the previous resistance as support. And look at this, we've just held this support the past several months, which is incredible. So I think once ICP clears $10, $11, holds it as support, the next move is the previous high, and then we go into this massive parabolic breakout phase to retest the high of this descending resistance all the way upwards of $70, $80. And so I think that for this bull run cycle, if we just draw the fibs from the high of March to the low, a full extension is like $70. I think that's a realistic case scenario for ICP. That's a little over a 7 to 8x from where we are right now. A bullish case scenario, I think $100 to $500 for this project. I mean, I don't see why not. They have some of the best utility in all of blockchain. They were one of the most suppressed projects due to corrupt leadership. We're seeing a complete shift and a change in regulatory clarity in the industry with what Trump is doing. So a lot of these utility-driven projects, guys, that you are starting to see wake up, like Algorand, HBAR, XRP, XLM, XDC, and even ADA as well too, we're going to start to see that with ICP. Now, I could be completely wrong, but the chart is looking good. It's been ranging sideways. It's been boring. And so a breakout for ICP, I think, is coming very, very soon. We're due for one. We're due for one. I mean, look at the low since July of 2024. That's August, September, October, November. That's like 4 months of ranging sideways. We're about to go into a trending market. So if total 2, the altcoin market starts to break out with Bitcoin, Bitcoin's dominance drops, that liquidity is going to flow into the large caps. And ICP is another large cap that's on my radar. And it's in my portfolio too. Now, another altcoin on today's list is SUI. Even though SUI has recently broken out and gone into price discovery over the past year, I still think this project is going to do very, very well and could even outperform Solana, outperform Ethereum, outperform BNB, outperform Bitcoin, outperform the vast majority of the other large cap projects that are above it in market cap, and even a lot of the projects that are below it in market cap in the top 25. I do think SUI can run to $100 billion market cap this cycle and be one of the best performers. Now, our research team was posting about SUI below $1 at like 70 or 80 cents before this breakout started. Similar to what I just shared with you guys for ICP, down at like these levels right here, before we saw the major leg up past the previous high. I think that's what's coming for ICP here soon. But the reason why I have SUI on the list is because they deliver the benefits of Web3 with the ease of Web 2. They have scalable infrastructure that's fast, secure, it's affordable. The average cost of transactions on SUI is very, very low. The speed is very, very high. They say they can perform more transactions per second than Solana, Avalanche, and Ethereum. Now, you don't really need 297,000 transactions per second. That's in a perfect scenario, but that is part of the use case. That does drive more adoption. They have the most powerful smart contract programming language. They use Rust programming language. When you compare SUI to all the other chains, it's up over 90%. It was blowing everything out of the water over the past month. The reason why I picked SUI over Solana is it's been doing better than Solana. For example, SUI is following the Solana blueprint nicely, but the difference is that SUI is a lot heavier coin that Solana was in quarter 1 of 2021. The purple circle, SUI's market cap is $10 billion. Solana's market cap is in the purple circle was $2.3 billion. SUI's total value locked is growing way faster. In 2021, at the same point on the chart, Solana's total value locked was sitting below 150 million. Right now, SUI's is at 1.6 billion. In January through February of 2021, Solana was pumping on dropping Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin's dominance lost 10%, this cycle, SUI is pumping while the Bitcoin dominance has been rising. So as liquidity is flowing into Bitcoin, liquidity is flowing into SUI as well too. Just like, for example, Bitcoin's dominance is high while XRP pumped up. Imagine what happens, guys, to these projects when Bitcoin's dominance drops. Because SUI has been performing better than the majority of the projects thus far with a high Bitcoin dominance, it's going to be absolutely incredible what happens to this project when Bitcoin's dominance drops to 50%, 40%, maybe even 30%. When we look at the top 50 performance over the last 90 days, we can see at number 1, SUI is at number 2, then Doge, Bonk, Pepe, WIF, a lot of meme coins, but SUI has held its own above the majority of meme coins. When we compare SUI's chart to Solana's chart in 2021, breaking down to price discovery, right now what we're doing for SUI is similar to what happened to Solana when it broke the previous high before seeing face melting green candles. And when we go to DeFiLlama.com and we click on SUI's chain right here, you can see total value locked at roughly $1.6 billion. It is virtually at an all-time high right now, but that is a good sign because we want to see higher highs and higher lows. So even if we consolidate for a little bit and see a little bit further of a sell-off, just watch for dips on this project because over the next 12 months, it's going to be one of the best large cap performers. So if you miss SUI below $1, make sure you go to bullrunners.com, the link in the description below, to plug in with Altcoin Pro University so you guys can get our top altcoins on these chains that are going to run a little bit later in the cycle. Even some of these projects that have yet to launch, our research team will be sharing those with you guys so you don't miss out this entire bull run. For example, if you're watching this video like 6 months from right now, maybe SUI's at $10, maybe it's $20, and it only has like a 1 to 2x left in it, or it's at the peak. So depending on when you're checking this video out, our research team is going to give you real-time altcoin picks through the link below. So plug in with there. But just recently, we've seen the layer 1 blockchains absolutely explode. And so when we look on these chains, we can see some top projects on, for example, Solana, on Ethereum, on SUI, on the Binance Smart Chain that are taking off. In one of which the narrative, specifically within the meme coin market, is the co-founders' dogs. Now, this is a lower cap market pick, but if you type in UNI, UNI, on coinmarketcap.com, you'll see Uniswap, and then you'll also see UNI ranked at 860. This project right here, just recently, within the past month, saw a massive influx of volume come in. It's at a $22 million market cap, so this is a lot riskier, but the reason why this project just recently took off with SUI, as SUI is breaking out, is because people are looking for top meme coins on SUI's chain. Now, the max supply is 1 billion tokens. The circulating supply is 1 billion. The fully diluted is the exact same as the market cap. So this is the reason why people like meme coins, is because they're not VC coins with a massive amount of value locked that get unlocked and get dumped on the secondary market from earlier investors to take profit on you. Now, that doesn't mean that this project can't experience price swings because they do fair launches. But this project reminds me of Myro on Solana, which was the co-founder's dog. So Uni is the co-founder of SUI's dog. And if you just type in Myro right here on CoinMarketCap, you can see right now Myro's market cap is at $130 million. Now, when we click on all, just so you can understand the comparison here, the way the crypto market works is people compare one blockchain to another. So if people are comparing right now Solana to SUI, well, what they're also going to do is they're going to compare the top dog coin for the co-founder on Solana to the top dog coin of the co-founder on SUI. And let's just say the layer 1 SUI performs better than Solana. What does that mean about the top dog coin for the co-founder on SUI as well too? Well, it would be playing catch up to Myro. Now, if we click on market cap right here and we look at the all for Myro, the all-time high for this project was over 390, nearly $400 million. That's stupid. It's ridiculous. I know. but I want you to fully understand this and grasp this. Myro's chart is looking really, really good. It just broke out of this falling wedge. It's been consolidating and ranging sideways for a period of time, just building this base, building up from like 50 million, 60 million, 70 million, 80, 100 million. Now it's at 130 million. If Myro starts to break out, which I actually think Myro could be a part of today's list, but it's not on today's list, because if Myro starts breaking out and we see it go back to retest the all-time high, then I think UNI could absolutely fly. Now, we may see it come down a little bit in the short term and consolidate like Myro did, form some type of falling wedge pattern, consolidate sideways, then break out from there going into like January of 2025. So definitely just watch this project. Don't just ape everything into it right now. We found this project when it was breaking out between $4 and $5 million market cap, and now it's at 20 million. So if you guys would have been plugged in with our Telegram group, you already would have caught a 4 to 5x on this. But I still think this has a lot of room to run. If it goes to just what Myro did during that last rally in 2024 earlier this year, then that's a 10x for this project, and that's still only 200 million. If this goes to $1 billion market cap, or if it goes to 2 billion, that's 100x for it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go to 100x, but if meme coins continue to perform well, then UNI is one of the top meme coins to watch on Sui's blockchain. Go check out their Twitter. They have 8,000 followers. This post right here, first pup of Sui, UNI, right there. That's Evan.Sui. He's the co-founder and CEO of Mistin Labs. And before that, he wrote SW that runs on every single one of your devices. So this whole bull run, this pin post is just going to stay right there. So when people discover this project, they're going to be like, oh my God, look at what the dog coins have done thus far. Look at what Dogecoin did. Look at what Shiba Inu did. Look at what Floki did. Look at what Myro's doing. Look at what Sui's doing. Now look at what UNI's about to do. So they're posting constantly on here 2 hours ago. They got a pretty decent sized community for how small they are right now. People are constantly calling this out on Twitter and posting about it that consistently post about crypto. Look at this, posted 20 hours ago. As long as they just keep posting art and keeping the awareness and keep doing spaces and keep getting call outs from all these other traders in the crypto space. Again, guys, this is not a paid integration. This is not a paid sponsorship. We just found this project on Sui and it just makes perfect sense. So yes, I do hold a position. That doesn't mean that you should. Again, this project probably going to go to zero in a bear market. It's probably going to lose 99% of its value, but we pay attention to the narratives. We pay attention to where money's moving. And the new monthly DEX volume in Sui is at an all-time high of $5 billion. So Sui is where the money is moving right now. So I think this could be one of the biggest dog coins next to FUD the Pug. I think FUD the Pug right now, if we go on CoinMarketCap, is sitting at $34 million. Now FUD the Pug was much higher than UNI, and it's seen a sell-off recently, but honestly, guys, like this one just doesn't really make any sense. It's just a pug. It was before UNI. That's maybe why it took off. It was like one of the early dog-based meme coins. It's a pug. Lots of people have pugs, but I don't think it has as strong of a narrative as UNI being the co-founder's dog. We saw that same narrative play out with Elon Musk's dog that was a Shiba Inu named Floki, and now Floki is over $1 billion market cap, and Floki's team is absolutely crushing it. I'm super bullish on Floki as well too, but I just think UNI is going to do better than FUD the Pug. Now, another meme coin on today's list is actually Brett. It's the #1 meme coin on the base chain, and this is a large cap project, but I still think this has massive potential. This bull run is just getting started. It's sitting at a $1.6 billion market cap. The total supply is 9.9 billion, pretty much 10 billion. I think they burned maybe 100 million of that or something. The circulating supply is the exact same amount. The fully diluted is virtually the exact same amount as the market cap. When we click on all right here, it's hovering right at the all-time high. I posted this in Telegram and I said, watch Brett over the next few weeks as Pepe broke out. And sure enough, we're seeing liquidity flow into Brett. And currently it looks like it's forming a nice cup and handle formation as well too. So I just expect some choppiness at the all-time high right now, and then the next leg up to take place to breach this into price discovery. Now, when you click on market, an interesting thing to know, it's on Uniswap and a lot of other decentralized exchanges, but it's not on Binance yet. Binance is listing a lot of other meme coins right now. Why would they leave Brett out? It's not on Coinbase either. And Coinbase created the base chain. So if we go to DeFi Llama, you guys can see that while Sui is at $1.59 billion in total value locked, the base chain is at $3.2 billion and it's at a high. So with Brett being the largest meme coin on the base chain, they got backing from Coinbase, and Coinbase's smart wallet was plastering them front and center on their advertisements several months ago that I showed you guys. They got 130,000 followers on Twitter. Go watch this video. I've shared this multiple times, so I'm not going to dive too much into what this project is because it started with this artist, Matt Fury. He created the Boys Club. There's 4 members. Pepe, it's in a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Brett, it's at like 1.5 something billion. I think Brett's going to go upwards of 10 billion, 20, maybe 30, 40 billion. It's going to be like Shiba Inu this bull run cycle. They also have two other characters that are lower market cap projects, Andy and Landwolf. In my opinion, I've seen a lot of other people agree with me. Brett is going to send so hard very soon that you won't have enough time to get in as it breaks out into price discovery. We've seen Crash, who's a big meme coin influencer, posting about this consistently. It is one of his largest holdings, but he's saying Brett could go to $5. Dogecoin has had its run past the 2024 high. Pepe has had its run past the 2024 high, but Brett is just hovering right at its 2024 high right now. So when Brett goes into price discovery, it'll do something similar to what Dogecoin and Pepe did. So I don't see Brett below a $10 billion market cap this bull run cycle conservatively. The chart looks absolutely incredible. Even if we consolidate and form a bullish flag where we see lower highs and lower lows on the right-hand side of the chart right here, this would be the handle to the cup. And then the next move to the upside is going to be absolutely massive. Now, the last altcoin on today's list is another member in the boys club, and that's Andy on Base. Now, Andy is sitting at a $28 million market cap. When Andy launched, we discovered this project around $1 million market cap, and this thing rallied over a 40x to over a $40 million market cap. And then it sold off drastically, just like Pepe did off of its launch. But a real testament of a project is when it sells off like this, does it just flatline and keep selling down forever and nothing happens again? The real key to understand here is the boys club narrative is going to be very, very strong this bull run. And so when Brett started to break out, Pepe started to break out. Well, Pepe started to break out first, then Brett. I noticed Andy started to break out as well too. I posted this in the Telegram. I said, watch Andy's chart. When Brett breaks out, it's like a leverage play on Brett breakouts. So anytime Brett breaks out, I see that Andy breaks out too. And sometimes it breaks out even more. Over the past month, it's over 200%. It's sitting at a $28 million market cap right now. So if this project gets listed on Coinbase or even Binance, it's on virtually minimal exchanges right now. It's on Uniswap, SushiSwap, maybe a couple others. But if it gets listed on bigger exchanges, then I don't think the market cap's going to sit at $28 million for long. Now, these projects aren't just going to 20x, 40x, 50x, 100x overnight. It takes some time, but we're in the first early breakout stage of this wave one on this next set of Elliott waves. So even if we see a short-term temporary consolidation to backtest this previous high at like 0.014 that it was at back in September of 2024, even all the way back here in July of 2024, if we come back down to backtest that, that would act as wave number 2 before we see the next leg up in wave number 3, which is basically 2 or past the all-time high. So a 10x for this project would be $280 million market cap. A 20x would be $500 million, and a 40x would be $1.1 billion. Now, in order for this one to do a 40x from right now, Brett would most likely need to be at like a 40 billion, 50 billion, maybe $80 billion market cap, which is definitely possible for Brett. But nonetheless, I think this project is going to do exceptionally well. Obviously, it's higher risk, but their branding is on point. If you go check out the website, you scroll down here, they're pairing it right next to Brett, saying Andy is based along with his best friends, Pepe, Brett, and Landwolf. Andy's iconic character was also featured in Mac Fury's now classic boys club comic book series. Wolf on Solana passed 230 million market cap. Brett on Base got to like a 2 billion before the correction. Pepe on Ethereum passed 7 billion. Where will Andy on Base go, being at a $28 million market cap? As more users come on the Base chain and the total value locked of Coinbase grows, well, Pepe was just listed on Coinbase. Where one goes, the others follow. Brett will most likely be listed on Coinbase. We don't know when, but when that happens, where are people going to start speculating next, further down the list? And the next member in the boys club that people will speculate on to be listed on Coinbase is Andy. So they have a dedicated artist constantly posting here on Twitter all of this artwork. So just through law of association, Pepe does well, Brett does well, then Andy has a high likelihood of doing well. Now, obviously, it's not a guarantee. Exercise caution. These are lower market cap plays, but that's why to begin this video, I wanted to give you guys some of the largest cap, most legit, rock solid plays that I think are going to do well the rest of this bull run. Any of these two lower cap plays like Uni or Andy, or even larger cap meme coins like Brett, they have virtually no utility. They're just based on community. You can trade these projects, just don't date these projects. Also, if you guys want to see an amazing way to accumulate more crypto going into 2025 with an opportunity that helps business owners get money back from a recent lawsuit that Visa and Mastercard lost, check this out. So far, we've referred over 430 businesses through our entire team of affiliates, and We've got them qualified to receive back up to $3.8 million out of over $220 million in total credit card volume processed. Now, if you want to know what this means, how you could benefit from it if you have a business, or if you don't have a business, listen to this.
Hey bull runners, this is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and Mastercard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners? So if you own a business, or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or Mastercard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated $1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over $7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th, 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.